And a good afternoon. I'm Huey Poplock. This is the Central Florida Computer Society, the Windows Special Interest Group, otherwise known as WinSIG. For Sunday, December 8th, 2019, I want to welcome everyone who's in the audience in Castleberry at the library for the CFCS main meeting, which follows directly after this meeting. We do not carry that live online. We did try it 1 month, and we may do it occasionally, but for the most part, we do it live to the group there and then open it up to user group members and interested parties from around the country. And we do have several people here from all over the country. Ron Brown's not up in Canada for the winter. He's down in Arizona, so we can't say that we've got anybody, and as far as I see from people that are around here, we don't have anybody from Canada today. He's in Arizona and not in Canada. Anyway, welcome to the Central Florida Computer Society. We got several items to go through today. The list is not very large, but there's a lot of information in those, so I didn't add things to make it too long. So let's take a look at our list, and I can do that by coming here, and come on. Well, that's underneath something here, so I can't see it. There we go. We'll open this up, and our list is right here. And these are the items we're going to talk about today. And Windows update is the best yet, according to this article. So we'll take that article and we'll get it up on the screen here. I don't know how many of you run Windows 10, and then I don't know how many of you are keeping up to date with your Windows 10. The November 2019 update, also known as version 1909, is the best update, according to this author, yet. It's a small update that's quick to install and doesn't add any crazy new features and isn't breaking many things.
Just a few.
Since Windows 10 gets big updates every 6 months, Microsoft has issued a new update to the operating system, and the first November update was in 2015. Yeah, remember that Windows 10 now has been around over 4 years. These updates have often been packed with major new features that needed more time in the oven. My People, Paint 3D, and the timeline. They make major changes to Windows 10, leading to incompatibilities with software and drivers, and some updates remove or move useful settings. They've required a large multi-gigabyte download and a long reboot to install the update. But the November 2019 update is small and it is polished. Against this backdrop, the November 2019 update is a breath of fresh air. A small download and installs just as quickly as a typical monthly update package for Windows 10, and it did. It didn't take long at all for it to do the update. It doesn't change very much either. The update makes a few visual tweaks and adds a few helpful features to the notifications, calendar, and File Explorer, but it's mostly focused on under-the-hood improvements. Why is the November 2000 update so different? Rather than the usual process of cramming in as many features as possible, testing them for a few months with Windows Insiders, and then releasing the update to users, Microsoft has slowed down for this update. Microsoft took Windows 10 May 2010 update, the successor to Windows 10 October 2018 update, which was the buggiest update in Windows 10's history, and improved on it, fixing issues, optimizing things under the hood, and making other small changes. Microsoft then tested this update and focused on fixing bugs. A major update comes next, so in the spring we'll see an update. Let me make this. Would you like to reinstall Windows Cloud download, reinstall, local reinstall, or cloud download uses more than 4 gigabytes of data? Microsoft hasn't given up on major updates. So the Windows 20H1, which is what they're going to start naming it. So that's the Windows 2020 in the first half. Update is scheduled for the first half of 2020, is now called Windows 2004, not 2004, but that means it's the 2020, and it'll be around April sometime. Expected around May or April to 2020. This update features major changes and new features like a new Cortana experience, cloud download for reinstalling Windows, and a new Windows subsystem, and Linux, featuring a built-in Linux kernel. So you can read, that's pretty much it. There's some information here, some other information, but this update isn't a major one. I updated it on 2 computers with no problems. What did happen to me on my Surface, I hadn't updated it in a while. I had to do some updates first, and I was having trouble with those, just the normal monthly updates. Once it finally completed all of those, when it went to do this update, it worked very well. Okay, next item. We can check this one off. Microsoft releases a list of Windows 10 features that are no longer being developed. What they're doing is they're stopping development on certain features. And let's find the article for that. And click on this. Okay, basically, they get to a certain point that certain features that they have don't get updated, and then they start removing them. Here are some of the things that are going to be removed. My people, or people in the shell, my people is no longer being developed, and it may be removed in a future update. I don't use it. I would imagine none of you use it either. I would be surprised if any of you do. XDDM-based remote display driver. I don't use their remote display at all anyway. I'm not sure what this is, but it's probably something I'm not going to even realize that it's no longer there. The taskbar settings, roaming of a taskbar settings is no longer being developed. And again, that's not something I'm going to miss. In the Wi-Fi, if you have an older computer and it uses WEP, W-E-P, or PKIP, most likely that's going to go away. It's not very secure anyway, and you're probably using WPA2 or WPA3. And if you are still using WEP, you really need to change that anyway. It's not very secure. Windows to Go is no longer being developed. I never used it. It requires a specific type of USB that no longer is supported by many OEMs, and you were able to run Windows from a USB stick. Print 3D app, going forward, the 3D Builder is the recommended 3D printing app to 3D print objects on new Windows devices. Customers must first install the 3D Builder from the store. The snipping tool is going away. I like the snipping tool, but the new Snip and Sketch is very good as well, and I've been using it exclusively instead of the snipping tool. I do use something called Snagit, which is a commercial program fairly inexpensive, but I've been using it for many years. It does a lot more than Snip and Sketch can do, and but Snip and Sketch is very good, and so Snipping Tool will go away. If you're used to using it, you might want to start using the Snip and Sketch, which is already built into Windows. They're both available right now. Eventually, the Snipping Tool will go away. The Phone Companion, the phone page in the Settings app, they've got a new phone page that allows you to sync your mobile phone with your PC. They just updated that, by the way, and in the middle of the update, my system had to be rebooted and I did not realize it, so it wasn't working and I didn't know what the problem was. And I'll show you that in just a second when we finish up this article. But the Phone Companion, I love the phone app. I really like, and I use it a lot now, and I'll show you why. And then the IIS6 management compatibility again, and the Windows PowerShell 2.0. These are things that probably don't affect any of you, but they're going away. If they do affect you, you want to make sure that you are you've got something to take its place. That's it for that article. And now I thought what I'd do is let's go ahead and I'm going to minimize this for a moment and go to my desktop. I'll minimize this. I'm on my desktop. I don't know if you can see it or not, but let me bring the taskbar up and over to the side. Let me bring it over to this side. No, I can't see it on this side. Bring it over here. And I don't know if you can see, but right here is my phone app. Can you see that, Stan?
Yes.
Okay. When I click it, it actually connects to the app. I have it synced with my phone, and any messages that I've been getting are here. So a lot of times when I'm doing two-factor authentication, like for my bank, I deleted a couple of those, but here's one from several days ago, so the access code definitely is no good. But when I get a verification, I don't have to go find my phone, or I don't have to pick my phone up and look at it and try to remember. It's right here on my desktop. So whenever I get a message on my phone, it's on my desktop, and I can even send a new message through this by clicking a new message, pick the person that I want to send it to, and it will send it directly from my desktop. So I don't have to have my phone in front of me or in my hand. It's got to be here local. It does sync up. I believe it's got to be here. So if my phone, if I was out and away and somebody else had it at my computer, I don't think it would show the messages. It needs to be connected, but it may. And I have never tried that, to be honest with you. But it's a great time saver, and it just makes things a lot quicker and easier when I'm doing the 2FA, the two-factor authentication, or if there's something that I want to send out in a message, I don't have to grab my phone, and I can copy and paste directly from here and get it onto a message. So I think that's a really nice feature, and I've been using it a lot. And let me move my taskbar back to the bottom if I can. Okay, now it's not going to let me do that. I'll do it here.
Huey,
Yes.
isn't the link between the phone and the computer Bluetooth?
You've got the
And
speaker
so
on
it
your
has the Bluetooth distance limitation.
I'm sorry, you're echoing because you've got the speaker on your computer as well as on the.
Actually, it's Stan's speaker.
Say it again, I'll repeat it.
I think, from a minute.
I think that the link between the phone and the computer is Bluetooth, so you're limited by the Bluetooth distance. Make sense?
What link?
Between the
I'm not sure if it's linked. I think it's linked by Bluetooth. It might be linked by the cloud. That's why I'm not sure.
Okay.
He's saying that the distance of Bluetooth may be the factor of it connecting, but I'm not sure if it's connecting via Bluetooth. I don't recall. All right, let me go ahead and close that. I can't, let's see here. Task view. I can't get this to move back to the bottom. I'll have to play with that later. Let's see, turn on the, no. I'm trying to find a blank spot here to do it with. There we go. Okay. It confuses me if it's not where in the bottom if I need it. And I need it. So let me go back and go to the next item on here. Whoops. And how to add a PIN to your account in Windows 10. Some of you have to sign in each time with your Microsoft account name and password, and you can actually set it up to be a PIN. You can set up a PIN and then just type in the PIN each time. If you have a notebook, this makes it real easy. However, it does make it a little bit less safe because combinations of PINs can be hammered out too. So if someone steals your notebook or you lose it somewhere, you're not quite as secure as using your name and your email name and password. But with each, let's see, let's go ahead and do it from here. And this is how you do it. You'll go in, you'll create a PIN to use in place of passwords. Having a PIN makes it easier to sign in devices, apps, and services. And what you do is you create your PIN and then confirm it and click OK. With each new version of Windows, new and innovative features are improving the total user experience in different ways. Windows 10 is quickly growing in popularity. You can either enter a numeric PIN or trace a pattern gesture on a picture with an appropriate hardware. You can even use Windows Hello, a biometric sign-in method that scans fingerprint, your face, or your iris. In this article, we'll show you how to add a PIN. So using a PIN is a better option. If a password is compromised in some way, the person has entered the system may have access to all your platform and are linked to that password. On the other hand, if a PIN is compromised, they can use it only on that device. They use it to sign into your account. They can't use it to sign in to your account in any other device. In addition, the individual, so the PIN is connected to your device, not to your account. And the individual must be physically present to enter the PIN, and that's not the same as a password. If someone steals your computer, they can't sign in unless they know your PIN. Also keep in mind that the PIN login features is necessary if you want to take advantage of additional security features available in Windows 10, such as Hello, the iris reader, and so on. So to add a PIN to your account, you go into Settings and Account, and then in Sign-In Options, let's make this bigger. In Sign-In Options, you click on Sign-In Options, and then you go to Add. And then you first have to verify your account's password. So you can't just do it if it's signed in. So if you close your computer and it's signed in, and when if somebody opened it and they were signed in already, and you hadn't set to automatically require a password, what would happen is you could, and they wanted to change and add a PIN to it, you would have to first verify the account, which is a good safety feature. If you have a Microsoft account, then you enter your Microsoft account password, click sign in. After entering your password, confirm your identity, enter the number in the dialog box. The minimum length is 4 digits, but your PIN can be as long as you want. If you need to check what you've set, select the icon to the right, and this will briefly That's the icon right here. That will briefly show what the password is. If you want to set up a new one, or you're setting up a new one, you put in the PIN and then confirm your PIN, click OK. The only criteria for choosing a PIN is that it must be at least 4 digits. There are no limitations on the maximum length or complexity, and here are some considerations. Using more digits will make your PIN harder to guess, but be sure you can enter the PIN quickly and accurately. Otherwise, there's a little benefit over just using the password. Using a simple PIN 000, 0123, 111, and so on will make it easy to guess. So choose random numbers. Reusing PINs from your bank account or credit card numbers should be avoided. Also avoid using the same PIN on different devices. And then you can change the PIN, or if you forgot your PIN, let's go ahead and look at the screen for that. To change your PIN, you put in your PIN, and then you put the new PIN, and then confirm it, and then OK. If you're unable to sign into Windows with your PIN, you'll be offered a link to sign-in options. Where you choose that, you're offered all of the sign-in options you've created so far: the picture, password, the PIN, the Windows Hello, and your regular password. Reset the PIN for your account. Open the Settings app, click Tap in the Accounts, and you can reset it under I Forgot My PIN. And then you have to verify your account. So that's if you want to add a PIN. I use it on my laptop and my Surface, and I do use it on my desktop as well.
Quick comment, Huey.
Sure.
I have a number of people who say, I'm perfectly content to not have to sign in to my computer every time it comes on. And it's annoying that they don't put an option for that in the setup. It's not in setup. So if it's there, you'll have to show me later. There is a way to do it in the registry. However, another little annoyance is that the next update will probably take it out and you have to do it again. So if it's 6 months, it means you're not going to remember how to do it. You got to look it up and go through it again.
If you don't need to sign into Microsoft, you can do it with a local account.
Instead of using your Microsoft account.
Okay, he's saying that. Let's see. I'm also seeing that there's a comment, but it's not about this. He was saying, I believe that there are some ways to do it. You can also sign in with a local account. They are making that more difficult. In some of the later, either the current update or a future update, they're going to make that more difficult. But here is an article to answer Stan. To access your sign-on options, go to Start Settings Accounts, Sign Up Options, and you have several things that you can use. Let's see. You'll also find that these features require sign-in, requires you to sign into your device after being, I can't see, I've got something in black. After being away, dynamic lock, and then privacy shows or hides personal information on the screen. I believe if you change your password to nothing, to blank, it will work. In other words, where it says what's your password, and you delete everything, and then do it again, and then in that line you also have it blank. I believe you then can get into your sign in without a password, but you have to click it. It doesn't just open. And there's hello and privacy. What data is collected and why. It's a pretty good article about that. To manage a security key, you can buy some, I think it's called an UBI key, but there's other brands as well that you can buy a USB stick that you plug in, and it's if it's not plugged into your computer, you can't sign into your computer. And it has some kind of a code, and it either reads the code or you have to put it in. I'm not sure which. It sends you something and you have to mark it. I've not used one. I've considered it. I used to use one for a PayPal account many years ago, similar to that, and they are quite secure. And to learn more about security keys, there is a link in this article. You can go and look up some ways. I know Arvin, who is very security minded, that's something I'm surprised he doesn't use, because he carries around a USB stick anyway with his backup and information. If he had another security key in his pocket, would be about the same size, he would plug that in and then he could get into his computer, and no one without that key could get in. To set up a security key, you go in and it tells you how to do it, and you manage a password and how to sign in, and to manage a dynamic lock. This article, I'm not just going to go through on how to do all of these things. They're in the article. And the one with the picture, what you do is you put a photograph up, and you use the same photograph each time, but you highlight certain spots in that photograph and make like a diagram. And if that diagram matches, you can get in. If not, you can't. I've never tried that. Ron Brown says local accounts are not an option anymore in Windows 10, and I thought I had read something that was either now or was going to happen. But I believe you can. You want to have a Microsoft account, but you can have it with no password, I believe, to sign into that computer. You still will have an account password, you just won't use it to sign in. I'm not sure if it has to do that, or if that will work now or not, Ron. Ron's my backup. When I say something wrong, he lets me know, and I thank him. He also said earlier that, and it's in the chat box to everyone, that he gave a website that features Microsoft Your Phone versus Dell Mobile. Importantly, we want to point out that Microsoft's excuse me, Your Phone app needed your Android phone to be connected to your PC via Bluetooth. So that answers that question, Dick, that it does have to be connected via Bluetooth. And there is a different way in which, importantly, we want to point out that Microsoft, okay, and I'm not sure if they have in that article. Well, let's go to it.
Ron, Dick just came back into the room. Ron, who's online, corrected two things. One, local accounts are no longer available. And then secondly, he did confirm that Bluetooth is what the phone uses to connect. And there's
Okay.
a link in the chat.
Okay, this is a website that has a lot of articles. You'd have to go searching for the one, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. And I got to move this down so I can close it and then bring it back up. Okay. I close this and minimize. All right. Next article. Oops. It's up here. Okay. I'm going to stick one of the ones farther down now that we probably got the most people we're going to have on. I don't know if you noticed, for those of you who are on Facebook, I posted a video that I did using a program called Videoze, Vidyoze. And I'd like to share that with you. It's only a few seconds long. I thought somebody would comment about it, and they didn't. So, hang on. I'm gonna probably have to start it over again here, and bring back to the beginning, and then we'll full screen it. And now we'll start it. And that's it. Just a few seconds, just a little promo for this Windows SIG, and playing around with the program. And you know, whenever you get a new program, what you want to do is try it, and you need something to work with to try things. And so that's what I did, and I played around with it. At the end, I'm going to do a Merry Christmas one that I also did, and that'll round out our day here.
I don't recall seeing that on Facebook at all, but that's neat.
Yeah,
Is that a free program?
No, it actually cost me, I think they had a special for $67 to join it, and then they have a monthly fee if you want new templates at $37 a month.
Jeez.
So I don't belong to that, but they're doing a special Christmas thing for 12 days. You can be a member of that and use any of the templates, the 1,200 templates they have. So I went out there and started using some of them to try them to see if at any time I might want to join for a month and do a bunch of them, but I'm not sure I would. But the ones that are in the basic program, and they add a few every once in a while, to me are enough for me to use. So let's see, the next thing, the Windows Run Command cheat sheet. Many of you I know in the audience at the library have been members of CFCS for a long time. Whoops, that's not, yeah, whoops, that was what I wanted, but I want to do this. Remember the DOS days, and some of you online probably remember those days as well. Well, a lot of those commands are still available for us. And this run command cheat sheet is really handy to have to use any of those. So if you want a quick way to launch programs, documents, settings, utilities, and other resources on your Windows machine, look no farther than the Run dialog. You don't need to learn anything complex to use this built-in feature. Memorizing a few useful commands will do. If you find the best of the Run dialog commands, commonly called run commands, in the cheat sheet that you can download and print out. To use a particular command, summons the run dialog with the shortcut Win and the letter R, or you can type in the command. A free download. This cheat sheet is available as a free PDF, and you can download it. And so, if you want to run Explorer, you just type in the word Explorer. If you want the C drive, you hit C:. If you want a MS config, you just type in MS config. If you want to shut down, you can do it from here, or if you want to open up Notepad. Okay, and then there's some other utilities. The command prompt, the character map, the char map, which is handy sometimes. So let's get out of this, and let's go ahead and type in run. And you can do it this way, or you can hit the Windows and the R key, and when you do, you get this dialog box. You type in the name of the program. So if we typed in CHARMAP and click OK, there's your character map. Sometimes that's easier to go through than going through all of the menu options to try to get there. And what do you use this for? Well, let's say I want to type in something with degrees. I come here and I type in this, and then I select it, and I hit copy, and you probably don't have the sound effects, but now when I type in something, let's go back to this article here, and if I say today 80, and then if I do a Control V to paste, it put it way over there, but there's the degree sign. It's because of the program I'm in. It's got nothing to do with what I wanted to do. But if you were in, let's see, let's do it this way. I'm not sure if it will do it in Notepad or not, but let's try it. Yeah. And there's your 80 degrees. And that character map is ideal for that. So if you want to do a copyright, for instance, select it, delete the other, tell it to copy, and then let's go to the next line and do a Control V, and there's the copy. And let's make this format font. Let's make it real large so you can see it, and say OK. So now you can see what I'm talking about. So if I wanted something else, what else? A registered mark. Again, click there, select it, copy it, and then come down here and paste it, and there it is. So if these are marks that you once in a while want to use, and you don't know how to get them on your piece of paper, this is the way to do it. And again, how we got here, if you remember, we were using the run command. And let's see, do we still have that up here? Probably not, so we'll do a WinR. And it's down here, and you can type in anything you want. So again, going back to the article, if you want the calculator, you just type in CALC. Sometimes that's easier than trying to find the darn calculator, and bingo, there it is. So those of you who remember some of these DOS commands, or even if you don't, there are a lot of things that you can do, a lot of newer things, and this is a great cheat sheet to print out and have nearby to find what you want. So if you want a program file, there's different things that you can do to set it up, and you can actually make little batch files using some of these things as well, and then run it. So that's the Windows command cheat sheet. And I hope some of you make use of that, especially those of you who are used to typing in commands from a command line. Top 6 sites for downloading Word templates. If you're not using Word because Word is part of Office and Office was expensive, you are aware, I hope, that you can use Word free without being illegal, in other words, a legal version of Word, by using the online version. You can use it with your desktop, but you can use it with your laptop, you can use it with your iPhone or your Android phone. And all you have to do is go to office.com, choose the version that you want, and then you can get templates for it. And let's take a look at what we can get for templates for Word. These are the sites where you can go and get them. And then you can have a choice within those sites for some great Word templates. The first one, of course, is Microsoft Office Online. And if you go there, you will find all kinds of Word and other Office program templates, other than the ones that are built into the program. So there's a lot more available. And so if you're looking for to do something fairly intricate, create a calendar or to do a newsletter of some sort, you might want to look at some of the templates that are available. through these sites to make it a lot easier for you. There's another one called template.net. And this is a link, so if you go to this article, you click on that, it'll take you to that site. And there's downloads. Site offers both free and paid templates, so you can find templates, and you may have to pay for some that are more intricate, but a lot of them are free as well. And again, a lot of these same websites have free templates for PowerPoint, have free templates for Excel, and so on. So take a look at them for those, and then do a search for more free templates available for those Office products as well. Another one called Vertex 42. You can find letters, resumes, flyers, and agendas, or get specific with basketball rosters, exercise logs, and camping checklists. I'm sure that's one most of us are just looking for, is a camping checklist. And if you select a template to view or download, you'll see related templates at the bottom, which is super helpful. Another one is wordtemplates.org. And it tells you a little bit about it now, and you can download them from there. HLoom is a cool website that offers templates for all Microsoft Office applications, not just Word. So it's a handy one to bookmark if you need templates for Excel or PowerPoint also. At the top, you'll see free templates, and can pick to see their collections or specific templates for things like invoices, certificates, invitations, or flyers. So, and then stock layouts is another one. So there's lots of templates out there. Don't kill yourself trying to recreate something that's already been done by somebody who's done a better job than you're probably going to be able to do anyway, and save yourself time. Yeah, Marshall mentioned, I'm looking here, WordPad is alive and well in Windows 10. Yes, I use it a lot. So thank you for sending comments through the chat box for those of you who are online. If you're interested in some of the collections of Word templates, free meeting agenda templates for Microsoft Word. These free meeting agenda templates for Word can get you off to a great start for any type of meeting, so you can click there as well. Let's go back to our list. How are we doing on time? We're good. So many of you have laptops, and this article I thought was pretty good that I thought I would share with you. And let me turn and make sure my laptop is still on. My laptop, of course, is a Chromebook, but I'm able to, I keep it on in the back to make sure that the screen is working so you can see, so I know that you're seeing what I'm seeing. So, how to destroy, let's find that article and take a look at it. Okay, 5 mistakes to avoid destruction. By the way, where it says the word advertisement, because it's blocking out something. There was an advertisement there. It doesn't mean that this is an advertisement. Let me mute myself here. Hang on 1 second while I cough.
And I need to do something real quick. He just mentioned WordPad, and I remember that I put something
in. Okay, Stan. Stan, you were saying?
Just saying something to the group. I wanted to bring up WordPad. I had cut, and I wanted to paste something with that link that Ron sent us on using Bluetooth to hook up your phone. That's just an aside.
Okay, WordPad and Notepad are 2 separate programs that have been part of Windows since day one. Notepad is for just strictly text. It doesn't have any formatting at all. It has one format for the whole page or article or file, where WordPad is more like a mini Word, where you can have bold, and you can have different fonts, and you can have different size fonts, and you can have italics, and you can have, as I said, bold. So there's, and you can put pictures in it. So if you want to print a picture and you don't have any other way to do it, you copy that picture and paste it into a WordPad, and then print the WordPad page out, and it will print. Okay, so here are the 5 things to kill a laptop. With excess heat, will kill a laptop very quickly. Laptops generate a lot of heat, and processors are more power efficient than ever, and the average temperature of a PC has dropped over time. However, many laptops still become warm to the touch when stressed. A fan or other source of cooling must expel this internal heat, and it's your responsibility to keep that fan vent clear. If it's obstructed, the heat has nowhere to go. Instead, it will get stuck around your laptop's critical components, and eventually your laptop will reach a dangerous temperature and overheat. And so excessive heat can damage your computer's performance and lifespan. And at what point is it overheating, or how hot is too hot? And then you can go read articles about that. Some laptops will react to this and will shut down automatically. Others will suffer through the heat as they slowly bake to death. If you put your laptop on furniture, on carpets, on blankets, they are all surfaces that can wreak havoc. Whenever you place your laptop, make sure the vent has a clear path to do its job. Even a pile of books that's too close to your laptop can cause problems. This isn't the only source of heat. Over time, dust can build up inside your machine and clog the fan and internal airways. If you've had your computer for years, it's worth cleaning your laptop to remove this debris inside, especially if you have a cat or a dog that sheds a lot, but they all shed. That air gets in any fan, it clogs it up, the fan no longer works. And so there's an article on how to clean your laptop screen, cover, keyboard, and fans. And so you might want to take a look at that article as well. The second item on how to ruin your laptop is how to ruin your laptop's hard disk drive. Many laptops now include a solid-state drive. Since solid-state drives don't have internal moving parts, they're more resilient to motion. However, many older and cheaper laptops still have mechanical hard drives, HDD. These can take damage if they're rattled too much. The problem with a spinning hard disk is due to its use of moving parts. Hard drives have a read-write head that must move to interact with the disk, which spins. These parts have their own inertia, so if you move a laptop while they're active, they will move along with their original direction. This can cause contact between the internal hard disk components, which could then cost you your data. You can reduce the risk by only adjusting your laptop gently and not moving it when it's running a program that's frequently accessing the hard drive. In other words, when your computer is running, your laptop is running, don't pick it up and move it around. Don't hit the desk with something. Don't pick it up and then set it on something fairly hard because you're moving it and then you're putting it on from the desk to a table. Because when you put it down and you put it down a little too hard, you can cause a crash of the hard drive, or can cause at least lose some data. Treat your laptop gently with no quick movements. This also is true of your desktop's base unit. Don't move it around and don't do a lot of things with it while it's on. Even if your computer has an SSD, you should know the signs of an SSD failure. And there's some things, warning signs your SSD is to break down. Notice that's a link to and opens up another article. So a lot of these articles that I show you have links to other articles that will give you more information on the topic we're talking about. How to damage your laptop by mishandling it. If you're wondering how to spoil a good laptop quickly, try picking up your laptop by the screen. And a lot of you do that because it's sticking up. Hold it by any corner, especially loosely, with one hand is a bad idea. Even premium laptops can sometimes succumb to this seemingly innocent abuse. When a laptop is closed, the best way to pick it up is by grabbing the front or rear of the device. It's smart to pick it up with both hands for security. When your laptop is open, you should still pick it up with both hands, one on each side. Don't pick up a laptop by the display. If your laptop still has an optical drive for CDs, don't hold it solely by that side either. You should also keep the laptop on a firm, level surface whenever possible. This will prevent it from getting bent or out of shape. Some laptops will take abuse, while others can run into issues before long. In particular, picking up a laptop by the display puts a lot of stress on the hinges. They aren't meant to handle that. Thus, doing so can damage the hinges or the surrounding materials, causing the hinges to break or the screen to stop working. How to destroy a laptop? By mangling the cords, and we all do this. Oh, do we do this? If you want to kill your computer, treat its cables like junk. Wrap them around everything in sight, twist them at weird angles, and wait for something to break. It'll happen sooner than you imagine. You think power cords can handle a lot of twisting and bending, but they often can't. Laptops are primarily mobile devices after all, and there's good reason to make the cords thin, light, and easy to move. A common form of this issue occurs when someone wraps the cord over some other object to keep it bundled. Sometimes that object has sharp edges which cuts into the cord. And this isn't just for obvious blunders like knives. A hard plastic edge is all it takes. In some cases, power adapters will even damage the cable if you wrap it around the brick. So avoid this problem by bundling a cord over itself. Most cords come packaged this way when you receive them, and some include a little piece of Velcro. You can use that to keep the cord together. Yeah.
It may interest people to know, if you're faced with the problem of a power cord that you have to bend sharply when it comes out of the computer in order to put the computer where you want it, on a table or something like that. They make a right angle connector adapter that you can get for your power cord. So instead of the power cord coming straight out of your computer, it comes out and goes at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, what he's saying, for those of you who are online or who are watching the video, that you can get right angle connectors for your computer, depending upon your computer, how easy it is to get them to match up with your cord. But you can get it so to make it a little easier on the edges, so it's not sticking straight out, that it's not at a 90-degree angle, and that's a good thing to have. And I was going to mention, if you want some Velcro to put around, you can buy Velcro, and it's fairly expensive, and you can buy it in rolls and cut it, and then use that over and over again to wrap your cables with. But a really cheap way to do that is go to Lowe's or Home Depot or any a gardening supply store. I'm sure you can probably buy the same thing in Walmart's garden department too. Find the wrap that they have. It's like a green wrap that you can put branches or sticks along a wooden piece to hold it together, or for a plant. They come in fairly large rolls. It's fairly cheap. It's green, and it works just like Velcro. And then you can cut it for the whatever length you want to wrap around it. I use that, excuse me, and have used it for years, and still have, and somewhere still have the roll. So it's a very inexpensive way to have wrappings using something like a Velcro. You should also make sure you don't put too much strain on your computer cables. Having the AC adapter hang in midair is not a good idea over time. This will weaken the plug. So having a bit of slack in your cables is important. Something else I do for my laptop, hang on, I'm going to clear throat again. One thing that I do when I buy a new laptop is I always buy a second power brick, whatever their power cable is. I get a second unit, and so I have one plugged in where it normally is in my house all the time, and then I have one that I carry with me to when I'm using it somewhere away from the house. So when I get home, I don't have to use that one. I just set it on the table that I use it, and then plug in the other one, so I'm not undoing and redoing the cord every time I want to use it at home. And I just have that cable somewhere where it's is easy to get to without creating a problem, but I also don't have to wrap it and unwrap it every time. And then how to kill a laptop with improper transportation. As we looked at above, laptops don't take kindly to shakes and other jarring. Despite what movies might have you think, you can't properly use them on the back of a motorcycle or while running away from guys with a machine gun, or in the back of a car while missiles are being fired at you. A lot of people buy a laptop bag to take the edge off of everyday bumps and bangs. That's a great first step, but you need to make sure the bag actually provides protection. Cheap laptop bags include a compartment that is laptop sized but usually lacks any protection. Others have padding on the sides of the bag but completely neglect to protect the top or the bottom. Of course, the bottom is what hits the floor when you drop a bag you're holding. An alternative is to place your laptop in a padded sleeve. This can protect your laptop from jolts while also keeping objects in your bag from scratching the machine's exterior. Just make sure the sleeve is padded. A cheap sleeve is just like a lousy bag, maybe too thin to offer real protection. So, in summary, it's important to keep an eye on the small details, otherwise your laptop could die a slow death through damage to hinges, hard drive, exterior, or other components. Even seemingly minor actions like a dropped food crumbs getting underneath the keyboard can cause serious damage over time. You've read stories of people dropping their laptop in a pool or spilling a drink on it, knocking it off a fourth-story balcony. Such mishaps do happen, but dramatic accidents are not how most damage occurs. Laptops often fail due to a combination of small mistakes, some of which may have no consequences at first. So yeah, if you drop it from a fourth-story balcony, most likely it's not going to survive, and there's not much you can do about it, except don't put it in a position where it's going to fall off a fourth-story balcony. So I hope these things helped you with your laptop, and I hope your laptop lasts a long time. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. The safest free software download sites, this won't take long. It's just some websites where you can get some free software. And not every website where you go to get free software is safe. A lot of it, they bundle a lot of junk with it. A lot of them you can get freeware, but along with that freeware is some malware or some viruses. So you have to be very careful where you get your downloads. Even programs that you see on some of these free sites that are deemed safe, some of those same software packages are available from other sites that may not be safe. So, and again, I still warn you, be careful. And a lot of these still do come with some other programs built in, so you do have to be careful. Ninite is a very good website. And again, there's links in this article to all of these places. The trustworthiness of WOT is 94%. It has a very good URL void rating. These are some different places that rate websites. For those who don't know about Ninite, it's quite simple. The website presents you with a list of programs you can select. Then you download a custom installer, and that installer installs it all for you. And it does it in bulk, so you can pick 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 or 10. When you get a new computer, you can pick and choose a whole bunch of these free utilities and programs. You mark them, it bundles them all up into a package with an installer. When you download that, you run the installer, and it installs all of those programs for you. Very good program. Softpedia is another deemed relatively safe place to download free software. Major Geeks is no longer available, which I did not know, but it was also a good website. File Hippo is another, and Donation Coder and Download Crew, File Horse, File Puma, Snap Files, and you probably don't see some that you are more familiar with, like download.com or CNET, which I think is download.com. They bundle a whole bunch of junk with your programs that you download, so be very careful downloading from any of those. Try to stay with some of these, but there are some pretty good choices there that you should feel relatively safe in using them. And I found this article, and I did put part of the article is in my newsletter. And if you don't get my newsletter, please go to huey.net. On the right-hand side, it says sign up for my e-news, and do that. And once a month, I send out what I'm covering, and then links to the previous month with the link to the video from these presentations as well. So make sure you do sign up for that if you're, and then read them. I'm seeing that about 50% of the people who, of course, the ones that are here, I'm preaching to the choir, the people who are here do read them. It's the other people. About 50% of those that I send out the newsletter to never open it. And it's a shame, because they're missing out on a lot of good information. So let's find that more seniors. Let's see. I'm not sure if I've, yeah, there it is right here. This article had a good graphic in it, and I didn't post that on the website, so I do want to take a look at it. But around the world, seniors are victimized by cybercrime and identity scams at a higher rate than most other age groups. Each year, financial fraud and scams affect approximately 1 out of every 18 older adults. So between the people, we've got more than 18 people online and in the audience there, and that means at least one of you is going to get scammed. So hopefully it's not you. Hopefully it's not me. As the baby boomer generation enters their retirement years, it's important to warn seniors about the risks of identity theft. And so there's a lot of good information here. What I did, educate seniors in your life about these common scams, and this is the list that I posted in the newsletter, so please take a look at that very carefully. And then here is the graphic that you might want to post somewhere. If you're in a retirement community, you might want to print it and post it, or send it to your neighbors. If you belong to other groups that are primarily seniors, you might want to share this with them as well, and help them, especially those that aren't experienced with using computers and how to watch for these things. You are more so than they are. You may not feel that you are very well qualified, but sharing articles like this will really help them. So please do that, and share this article with them. And then you can learn more about identity protection through Statistics Canada, UK Office for National Statistics, the US Census Bureau, and so on. It's a very good article. Please share it with your friends and neighbors. Okay, and I am going to end with this video, and then I will have some final words and ask for any questions. So let's go ahead and this first, full screen it. Go back to the beginning. play that one more time because I like it. And with that, are there any questions?
Tom? It's something called VIDDYOZE, videos. He mentioned that earlier. And
Yeah, it's VIDDYOZE, like you said, .com. And you can learn all about it. It's not free. But I had a lot of fun putting that together, and I've done, as I showed you, I did the promo for this SIG with it as well. I've done a few other things with it.
I'll have to check on alternative 2 to see if there's anything like it that is free. What were the names of those? Free Video Cutter, Huey.
Free Video Cutter, okay.
Free Video Cutter means you edit clips. Joiner means you can merge clips into a single video.
Okay, Free Video Cutter and Free Video Joiner. Look at those.
Okay, and I do posters and so on from postermywall.com. That is free, but it does put a small watermark on each flyer or poster that you create, but it has like 150,000 templates to choose from, and you can edit any of those templates. And I use that for a lot of postings that I do on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, that I do it for various groups that I belong to. Okay.
That one again, please.
Okay, postermywall.com.
Postermywall.
And I also found another one this week, but I have not tried it yet. So until I try it, and then I'll let you know what it is. It's similar to it as well. I don't see any questions from the online group. Is there any more questions from the group in Orlando?
Nothing more in here, Huey.
Okay, we've got 15 people online. And I want to say again, although I did play the video, I do want to say personally, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. And it will be 2020 the next time we meet. Boy, it seems like a long way away, doesn't it? But 2020 is upon us. And I hope you have a very nice season. For those of us in Florida, we're enjoying nearly 80-degree weather, around 80-degree weather today. And it's December 8th. So I came from the snow belt up in New York State, and I certainly appreciate Florida weather. So those of you who like the snow and are still in it, I hope you enjoy your winter. And please come back next month and visit us. Emails and questions to me at any time, just email me. And again, Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to everybody. And thank you, Stan. And
Thank you,
enjoy.
Huey. Certainly the same to you. Appreciate it. And it was a great presentation. See you next month and next year.
Yep.
All right, very nice. So let me get out of this.